You know, some civility experts, right, say that when somebody's being rude to you, you should not be rude back. You should take the high road, right? Now, as police, you're trained to do that. When somebody's being nasty to you, you can't suddenly start having a fight with them. But there are moments, I think, and this happened to me in PI, and it was on DNTO, I was talking about the experience. It was Boxing Day, and I have a disability badge because sometimes my hip backs up. So I was going to park in there, and these kids come in exactly like that, and they took the parking space. I'm standing there, and I say, excuse me, you don't have a disability thing, and this is a disability parking space. He says, we don't care, go park across the street. They got out of the car and walked into this video place to buy video games, Boxing Day, right? They're excited. So I had two choices. One is go park someplace else, it was quite busy. The other was to confront them, so I followed them to the store. They were standing in line out there. I said, listen, I said, I told you, that's my spot. I'm disabled, you're not. I know I don't look disabled. And right now, I'm not feeling disabled at all. Okay? I had my Al Pacino style, right? I said, I tell you what, I'm giving you 2 minutes to move the car. It's the way they talk in Montreal. I learned when I lived there 25 years. I said, you move the car in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, I get it towed. If you prefer, I can call my friends. They don't like it when I get upset. You know what happened? They came, they moved the car right away. Sorry, and they went. So the question is, sometimes, maybe one has to, the Hindus say that if somebody acts badly towards you, do not turn the other cheek, slap them back. To teach them a lesson so they won't do it again. I think Captain Billy would have agreed with this, Saboteur Billy. Because they're supposed to reincarnate many lives and pay for their former sins. And if you let somebody keep doing bullying, when they come back, oh boy, they're going to have a really bad time. So the way to show love is to help people restrain themselves. Tell them, hey, this is the line. A lot of parents have lost that ability today. I mean, if you're busy at 2 jobs, the kids eventually figure out that all they have to do is keep insisting. And at some point, you say, okay, just do what you want. And that's what basically is happening, right? Is it depressing? I don't think it is. I think there is a way of understanding how civility works and what the possibilities may be. Civility is socialization. I mean, I've been paid here to talk about civility. At some point, I have to. And I'm going to do it in a way that's engaging. Am I okay with time? I have another 2 hours, right? You're born. And born, you say, I. Hands, you play with your hands, you play with your toes. You're really not aware that you're a member of society. That happens when you start seeing that you are the object of other people's attention. You see, you're looking at me right now, right? Now, because you're looking at me, I am feeling different. You're all looking at me, my God. This is scary. By the way, you know, I've never been surrounded by so many police officers. It's scary this morning. If you were still wearing your uniforms, I think I'd be a little nervous. But he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. So we are aware of our mutual awareness. We are aware that we are the object of the other person's presence. And knowing that you're nodding at me and that you're nodding, that you're seeing me nod, makes me a member of culture. I have to watch how I behave. Now, look, this fellow here is going to have a moment where he's going to realize he's not alone in the world, that he is both the I and the me. In other words, you're looking at me. That makes me an object of the culture, and it makes me responsible to follow some of its norms if I want to be a member. He's having a very happy life. But there comes a moment where he has to confront the fact that he exists. See, he's doing all right. Happy fella. He finds a mirror. I know it's funny, but it's making a point. That mirror, right? You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, that's me. And then ourselves Charles Horton Cooley said this, we are mirrors of one another. For example, I'm looking at you, and I can't say they like what I'm saying. I can only say, I think they like what I'm saying. All I can do is I can imagine what you may be thinking. We can never be in the other person's head, right? So all of human interaction is very complicated and dangerous because we're always trying to guess what the other person is thinking, and these civility rules are always there that can make things more difficult. We don't always say what we're thinking. We don't always say, we just start giving examples, get on with it, we want to have lunch, lunch is good, you are getting on my... It's amazing, it's a sign of our times. Even to help others has to do with what kind of collective conscience we have. So I want to sort of come in to land this thing and ask, where is our collective conscience? What is it? Surely we've changed in major ways, but we've taken the time to correct the injustices of history, but have we created further problems that we now need to address? Before, children used to be socialized by their parents and their kin. Now they're in the hands of the media, they're in the hands of institutions, hands of educators that may have different ideas about how to teach 2 plus 2 is 4. Some prefer to say 2 plus 2 is 22. Right? So if we don't panic, if we don't just focus in the extremes and say, oh, everything's falling apart, we see that there is a more subtle problem. And I want to go back to the mind, heart, body thing and finish up with this thought. We have a heightened awareness of rights, which is leading to false, unjustified entitlement, which is at the root of a lot of minor crimes. You heard about the guy who escaped from the police in Massachusetts or Maine. It's about 5 years back. Winter. Escapes custody, runs into the forest. They're chasing him but can't find him. They find him 2 days later, and he keeps moving, so they can't find him. He has frostbite, he loses a toe. He sues the police for not finding him sooner. It's their fault. You get this? Yeah. And he's not certified insane. He's entitled. I'm entitled to run away, and I'm entitled also for you to catch me on time. You get that kind of nonsense going on. And in school, my right to get grades from a fair teacher, which was an admirable 1960s, 70s objective, has now become, I deserve an A no matter what. If I put the effort in, I got to get an A. My right to protect my child from abuse becomes the teacher has no right to act on my child's behavior. Now, I know this resonates with some people who are on the beat, the police. You have problems with an adolescent, a teen, you take them home, and the parents are what? Some of them, what they say to you? You know what they say to you. Why are you picking on my kid, right? So this is the kind of environment we live in. And it's creating kind of a paralysis. A lot of bullies are functioning, kids are committing suicide. You know, everybody, kids, youth, and adults are being deprived of a coherent sense of reality. This was a coherent sense that was communicated by church, politicians, educators, and police officers. But now, it's like if I can pass without working, then work has no value. If I can bully without being stopped, then I better continue bullying before someone bullies me, because they won't stop him or her since they didn't stop me. It's like a war of all against all, right? The best we've done so far is a detached civility. I don't think that's civility. Detachment, detached tolerance, you know. Yes, I accept what you are, and we're all politically correct, and we're a very diverse culture. But the culture that promotes civil interaction, and when I say of civility, I'm talking also about ethics, about caring, of a higher order, isn't really completely there to reward people for acting